Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson, and I am your host, and this is Real Talk, brought to you by Real World Records. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing sex versus love. So it's pretty much an open topic, uh, according to popular trend. This is Hump Day. Uh, uh, for many of you married couples, you might not agree completely and wholeheartedly uh, with that assumption that is hump day, because it might not be hump day for you. Your wife might be PMSing, and so it might not be hump day for you. But nationwide, uh, people have made Wednesday hump day. I think it's from the commercial they used to have. I don't know if they still broadcast it, but he used to have a commercial where they had the camera and he walked through the office there and say, "Y'all know what day it is? Y'all know what day it is?" He say, "It's hump day." And so anyway, uh, we have incorporated that in our Wednesday broadcast. We seem to get some good feedback on the topics that we have of sex versus love. Of course, with anything in life, you'll always find that sex is a popular, a very popular subject. All right. But we want to try to we wanted to try to approach the subject from a different angle and discuss it in terms of what people view as sex. I'm sorry, the way people view sex in its relation to love, and so that we can differentiate between the two, because many people attribute sex to love and it's equal in their mind, and it really isn't the same thing. Sex, uh, the act of sex itself is uh, not the same as acts of love, okay, in that regard. Um, so in that regard, sex is not love, and it's not the same. How do we know this? We know this because people that rape people don't love the person that they rape. So um, we can summate that by deductive reasoning that sex itself is not equal to love. You also have people that are child pedophiles that have sex with children, and so that is not love. All right. So just judging from that, and many other examples that we can give. For example, a prostitute. All right, a prostitute don't love her customers, Johns, whatever you want to call it. She don't love the men that she's having sex with. It's a business um, transaction, a legal business transaction at that. But uh, just the fact that it's illegal doesn't negate that it's not love. But the fact that um, she doesn't have any type of emotional attachment to the people that patronize her services is enough to prove that sex and love is not the same thing, and vice versa. Her Johns don't love her. Now, I have experienced and met people that grew to have a relationship from prostitute and John, and they wind up really bonding and actually caring for one another. But that still is not it doesn't validate that sex is equal to love, because they still had to acquire a relationship and acquire liking for one another aside from the sexual activity. All right. So it's safe to say that sex is not equal to love. All right. So we have to differentiate between the two, because people are get confused, and especially I've noticed that many men confuse the difference between sex and love, because they, I don't know what it is that's about their natural desire for sex is so strong, and I think it's from a lack of not being shown pure types of forms of love, that they equate sex to love. So, in essence, say for example, they meet a woman, and they get into a relationship with and the relationship progressed to the point of them having sex. Okay. Depending on how good she put it down on him, he might think he in love with her. All right. Or perhaps she might meet some type of fantasy desire that he had, associated with a woman or what have you. So sometimes they will equate that to being in love. Okay. And needless to say, that is not the same thing. It is not the same thing. When a woman is very affectionate towards the man, he will equate that to love. And the reason that it's so dangerous to confuse the two is because if ever that woman were to cease from being very sexually active with the man, she might still care a lot for him. But if he's equating the amount of sex he's getting from her, if he's equating that to love, he will think that, oh, okay, she stopped having she stopped having a lot of sex with me, so she must be falling out of love with me. Okay. And that is where the real big problem comes in, because it's not the same. It's just not the same. So when people have a misconception about things to begin with, it creates an environment for something to go wrong, or it creates an environment for disappointment, because if the circumstances don't add up to what they have made up in their minds, all right, then they start getting frustrated and experience a lot of disappointment, and this is a really big issue. Something to go wrong or create. All right. We've shared the link. I shared the link on the YouTube page for anyone who wants to join in on the conversation and you want to put your 2 cents in, you're more than welcome to do so. I've shared the link on the YouTube live feed, as well as you can go to my Google Plus page, and I've shared the event and the link there as well. So you're welcome to join in on the conversation. Or if you're a little shy, you want to put your 2 cents in, but you don't want to be in on the live broadcast, you're welcome to type your comments or contribution to the conversation. You can do that on the live feed located on the YouTube live chat box to the right of the video feed. So I've included the link on the event page, and as well as on the live, it's in the description section on the live feed, on the YouTube video feed. All right, so y'all gonna tell us a little bit about, y'all gonna share with us a little bit about your understanding of the difference between sex and love. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'm always giving my 2 cents. I will put my 2 cents in. Sometimes I like to shut up and listen, but people always tend to make me talk because they value my opinions and they value my views on certain things, because they deem me as a credible person to seek advice from, and I respect that and place that in the highest regard. And I'm always trying to increase in knowledge so that I can be a valuable source of advice or wisdom and such. So that I know there's a high responsibility given to someone who is regarded in that manner. So I don't take it lightly. I'm always searching for knowledge so that I can be a well of knowledge. This is here in the tech age. A lot of the young people are not familiar with a well and what a well is. But back in the day when they couldn't, when people wanted to get water, they would dig down in the ground and down in the ground in many places. If you go far enough down, there's water in the ground, and so people would dig wells to retrieve water from underneath the ground. All right, and that's what they call a well. And once they would dig so far and pump the water out of the ground, then the water would continuously flow. And so I style myself as a well. And if I don't continue to seek for deeper and more profound knowledge, I feel like I would be kind of like a well that dried up. You can't go there and get no more water from that, because that does happen sometimes when with wells, they dry up, there's no more water down there. And so you have to find another spot where some water is at. dig and dig and dig and see if we come up with something. So I like to make sure my well don't run dry. All right. So anyone who has knowledge can be considered as a well. Some people aren't very self-confident and they might not consider themselves as wise or knowledgeable, very knowledgeable about things. But in my learning, I found that anybody and everybody has something that they can teach you. All right. Back in the day, they used to, the old folks used to say that you can learn from old people. You can learn from old people, and the age seemed to be like they used to say, in other words, that people who were old were automatically, wise, But I found that to be a myth and so drastically untrue, all right? But what I did find out is that there is something that you can learn from all old people. And what I found was that there are two things you can learn from older people. You can learn what to do or what not to do, all right? Because some people are old, but they haven't gained any wisdom, so they are what I would consider as old fools, all right? Some people, they done been foolish a long time. They ain't got no wisdom from age, because age don't give you wisdom. You have to seek knowledge and you have to seek for understanding. You got to be open to understanding, and wisdom is knowledge guided by understanding. All right. So in this broadcast, we are hoping to provide you with some wisdom. So everybody know about sex, and everybody done heard about love. All right. But the wisdom we would like to relay in this broadcast is the wisdom of knowing and understanding the difference between the two. And also, we'd like to relay an understanding of how, if they both are intertwined with the perfect, if you could get the perfect match in understanding of the two, if you are in a marital relationship, you can experience the maximum pleasure or profit or benefit out of love and sex, okay? Because they are two different things, but together they are so powerful. It's so amazing what both are capable of doing and contributing to our lives. That if we understand the elements and how they work, we could really experience maximum pleasure that should come in having a mate. Okay. Yeah, I've met people in my lifetime that said, they married their soulmates. Okay. And I believe that people can associate things that they might not know exactly what is at work, but they know what they feel. All right. And people that feel like they have met their soulmates, they might not know specifically that really what they have found is the same thing that I was just speaking of. Is they've found out how to merge with another being, human being, and properly appropriate the sex and the love, you know. So this is what brings about the harmonious relationship, and it's so harmonious, and that's the reason they have given it the title, their soulmates, because it is a spiritual thing that takes place. Now, this particular segment is not about spirituality, but I will say this: sex is very spiritual. All right, and maybe I should do a segment specifically to expound on that fact. Okay, but sex is spiritual as well. Love is spiritual. All right. So a combination of sex and love is a very powerful spiritual experience. All right. It's very orgasmic. And so because of the intimacy level is mastered when there's a harmonious flow of both of those spiritual experiences. When it's unbalanced and inappropriate, this is what causes people not to experience the highest level of climax when in a relationship, where even if they're not actually performing the sexual act, they still seem to fall in love or have very strong emotional attachments to certain people, because and these are the people that they call their soulmates, because they feel they sense the strong spiritual connection to that person. All right. And that's not totally or completely associated with the sexual experience. We need to do some broadcasts and to teach people how they can be more intimate with one another, because I know that some men are very sexual, but not affectionate, and it is a difference. It's a big difference. And they may not even realize that although they may be turned on sexually, they may be turning their mates off intimately. It might be very unattractive, and it doesn't have anything to do with their physical appearance that's unattractive. It's completely and totally associated with their behavior is unattractive. They may want to have sex, and but they don't want to intimate the experience. So therefore, there's a detachment there. big detachment that goes along with a person who wants to have sex but don't want to contribute intimacy. All right, intimacy. And some men say, "Well, I thought that was the same thing." Well, that's where you're fucking up, because it's not the same thing. All right, you got to tell that woman, you know, other things besides uh, your physical attraction to her in order to be intimate. All right, you got to care about what matters to her to be intimate. Vice versa, ladies, you may be very unattractive because you might think because he a man, he don't have no feelings. Okay, and this is another big misconception with females who will tend to, I guess, because our macho man society have taught us that a man that's weak is not manly. And that's the crock of bullshit, all right? Because in order for a father to care for their children, he got to become weak at some point. So to view a man as not being manly because he shows some frailties or sensitivity is a crock of bullshit. All right, because he got to love his children. He got to do that. He got to become intimate and really show his wife love. He got to become weak. All right, at some point, and become weakened to her. All right. It's not when you're trying to blend or with your mate. That is not the time to be macho man. Okay, that's why turning the women off with that macho man shit. All right, and sometimes you gotta become weak to do that. Ladies, y'all with this feminine movement, bullshit ass movement, where the women want to be men and shit. That really drives me up the wall. It's bitches that want to be men movement. That's what I call them. That's what I call the feminist movement. The bitches that want to be men movement. Because there is a reason that women are made a certain way. Okay? And there's a reason that a man is made a certain way. And I'll give you an example. You have vagina, all right? The man has a penis. So that in itself, the physical makeup, is showing that a woman is supposed to take within herself the man, all right? And this is how they bond, okay? So when we talk about relationships and the way that women carry themselves, all right, it's almost the same as two penises bumping up against each other. There's no pleasure there. Even when the men be with men that go in the backside, okay, we ain't gonna even go in that, but I fucked up. Or anyway, I'm trying to prove a point here, how even when the men be with each other and they bump up, they don't get no pleasure out of bumping their penises together, all right? So when the women are trying to act manly, want to take the man position on the job. They want to search the authority in the household. They want to just take over shit. I get real emotional about that because I don't like to see women trying to just take over the damn men. Just take their balls and run with them. You know, that annoys the fuck out of me. All right, because that's destroying and breaking down the man from being a man. Let the man be man. Okay. We don't need men to be bitches. We got enough bitches. All right. We need men to be men. So women, I'm asking you, I'm begging you. All right. Please stop taking the men balls and taking control. Give the men their balls back. Please. Please for me. You know. It just don't make no sense. All right. Women are made to take in the man, not take over. All right. And it's a difference. If y'all hang on just one second here, and I want to get some better lighting. Yeah, these women are just took the fuck over, and it drives me up the wall because that's what makes it so hard to find a good man. Because every time you run into a man, he's so controlled by his mama, because bitches just take over any kind of way. They take over the parentalship of the children. They don't even let the old daddy, the birth daddy, you know, have any say so in the upbringing. These my children. Well, shit, you ain't think he had no part in it? Damn, bitch. They just take over. And that's why I don't like the feminist movement, because they just gotta take over dictatorship type of mentality. When you give a bitch an inch here, take a fucking mile. Bitch, sit your ass down somewhere and learn how to take in the man, not take over. It's the difference. You know, you can't be going and just take over shit. Let the man be the man. And this would cause a lot of problems in the marriage. This is why a lot of marriages is ending up in divorce. I seen two bitches walking down the street earlier, all right, and they were holding hands and shit, all right. And I ain't saying nothing wrong or bad about the two bitches holding hands and shit like that, but you can tell that one of the bitches wasn't happy, all right. You can really just tell that one good girl was happy, and the one that was manly, like the male of the relationship, she was dragging her down here across the street. They were holding hands, and the other little one that was supposed to be, I guess, the feminine one, she was just dragging her across the street. And I said, damn, this bitch just yanked her across the motherfucking street with her. And I say, see, this is why in the hell she probably had a hard time with a relationship with a man, because she done forced her. And probably very dominating. And so she was just dominating the other woman, and she seemed like she just really just real gullible, you know, probably type of person that just want to be loved, and probably equating the attention that the other girl was giving her as being love. But it's different between being controlled and being loved. This is why people get into abusive relationship, because they don't understand or know the difference between abusive attention and somebody showing you attention because they love you. A person that want to control you and your every movement. You can tell the girl was real controlling because she dragged her ass across that street. She didn't even look like she even give her an opportunity to think, well, maybe I might not want to go across the street right now. It was something to see. I pay attention to things in life. That people may overlook. All right. Because those are the important things most of the time. The things that people overlook, those are the most important things that we really need to pay attention to. I see the two women, and I ain't gonna tell nobody business, but I'll just say it like this. I know that these two men too that was together, all right, and I ain't gonna say where I know them from, but I tell you, I was close enough to them to know that they was not happy, all right, and they always be fighting. I don't know if they both was on drugs or one was on drugs and one wasn't. What the situation was, all right. But I know one of them was on drugs, okay. But I just didn't know which one it was. But I knew one of them was on drugs, and cause they be arguing, all right. And they know how people be arguing loud and they tell all their business, all right. So I heard the argument, but so I don't know which one said it, but I know one of them on drugs, all right. If not both of them, but they were arguing one day. So anyway, I said all that to say this, not that people with heterosexual relationships don't have problems, but if you already having problems in a heterosexual relationship, all right, being a homosexual is not a resolve to that issue, okay? It only adds to your own personal emotional distortion, all right? There's a lot of, because you add a lot of other additional stress is on the relationship, because you have to worry about how people looking at you when you're in public, and what they thinking about you when they see you do this, and what society has to say about it. And so all of this other stuff has added pressure on your emotional state. This is why a lot of people that are homosexual behavior, gays or whatever, are very suicidal, or they do drugs. They pay attention to the matter, the pattern. All right, they either are suicidal, extremely violent. Okay, they have a lot of what do you call that, domestic violence amongst the gay community, and or either they have a lot of different types of emotional dysfunctions, and stuff like that. Well, because they already had it before they got involved in these type of relationships, but it's intensified, because now they have societal stresses added to that. And so anyway, in a regular, I shouldn't say regular, but in a heterosexual relationship, all right, you have these elements that that go into play with your emotional state, all right, and your association with sexual attraction and you're trying to um, get love or show love, whatever uh, the relationship consists of, is in every relationship you have an element of sex and love. Okay. Now, what you personally think about sex and love has a very big bearing on the success or the failure of that relationship. So, keep that in mind uh, when you're embarking upon this relationship, because it matters a whole lot. People wondering why they may think, man, seems like I'm just no good in a relationship. Every time I try the relationship, it don't work out. Well, because there's something inside you. I had to realize I haven't had a mate in 2-something years, over 2 years. And it's because I chose not to, because I said, I want to learn how to love myself with or without a mate. And just love me for me first and foremost. And so once I find a mate, I'll be whole, mentally whole, emotionally whole. And then I will attract someone who is mentally and emotionally whole. The reason why I kept attracting these men that were emotionally deficient is because I was emotionally deficient. All right. So hopefully that'll give you a little something, food for thought, something you think about until our next segment. We didn't have anyone that wanted to contribute to this particular broadcast. I don't see any comments in the live feed. So I guess we'll end the broadcast for right now. But in the meantime, in between time, keep it real or take your ass back to fantasy land.